There's a real concern across the country. I felt it in the Makerfield by-election about high streets that have been hollowed out, particularly in former industrial areas. They just have been in decline for a long time. And I want to give local communities the power to turn things around. And that means clamping down on some of the businesses that cause harm in communities and then supporting those that bring life back to our high street. So we are announcing big changes today to give communities more control over planning when it comes to vape shops, adult gaming centres, and also the proliferation of betting shops by removing the aim to permit.
Big news on early release at the moment. You've unveiled a new plan which you say could deal with the issue of early release of criminals. What is that plan?
Well, I've heard the depth of concern felt across the country about the potential release of the killers of PC Andrew Harper, and obviously I feel for the family and the anguish that they're going through. What I have done since I came into office is push the system every single day to go further. I've not accepted it's impossible to do more. I believe there is more that can be done. So today I have asked the Justice Secretary to present a plan in early September to Parliament to go further so that we do not have to release as many people early. And that plan will include issues like returning more foreign national offenders to their country of origin, and looking at the injustice of IPP sentences, which have led to young people, or young when they were imprisoned, being imprisoned indeterminately, and that clearly is unfair.
And also women's jails too. You're looking at those too in this plan, are you?
Yes, we're going to look at all of those aspects alongside other measures, and the proposal will be to find new ways of freeing up space within the prison system so that we do not have to release offenders early, and particularly the most serious offenders like those involved in the killing of PC Andrew Harper. So I am confident that there is more that can be done. I have asked the Justice Secretary to bring that plan to Parliament. I will talk to the other political parties about it because I believe it's extremely important to build as much public and political consensus as we can around this difficult crisis within our prisons.
And those two killers of Andrew Harper, they won't be released under your new plan?
What I have said is that I believe we can go much further, and I hope we can get to a position where people who have committed the serious crimes are not in the position where they are being released early, and that would include the killers of PC Andrew Harper. That is my intention. I believe we can do it, but I now have to give time to the Justice Secretary to develop that plan, put in the detail and present it to Parliament in around 3 weeks' time.
And what is behind the change of heart? You said in the Telegraph last month that you had pushed to the very limits of what's possible. We heard yesterday from your spokesman in Number 10 that you were ruling out exempting those convicted of manslaughter. What's changed overnight? How have you unblocked this?
Nothing's changed. I came into office and started pushing on this issue, and I have pushed every single day in office since then, and I've never accepted that there is nothing more that can be done. We did first exclude those charged with rape, convicted of rape, serious sexual offences against children, those convicted of offences linked to grooming. But I then said, but we also need to go further. And in my view, there is more that can be done to free up places in the prison estate, and that is what the Justice Secretary's review will look at. I do believe we should look at particularly the sentences that have led to young people being in prison for many, many years, the so-called IPP sentences. I know there is concern across the political spectrum about those sentences. I believe it should be possible with political consensus to develop a plan that leads to the lower risk offenders beginning to be released, and that will help ease the pressure, and it will create a situation where those convicted of the most serious offences stay in prison longer and serve their full term.
And on this one, finally, what have you learned from this? You're new in office, you were told you couldn't do something, and now you say you can do it.
No, I didn't say that. I've been pressing every single day to go further. I don't want to see a single prisoner released early. And that's the spirit that I've brought to the first 3 weeks that I've served as Prime Minister. And I have always worked like that. I've never taken no for an answer, not in the past, dealing with Hillsborough and other issues, and not now when I'm facing the situation that I'm looking at now. It's always been my style. I won't give up, and I believe there is more I can do. It's my job to speak up for the public on this issue. I kind of take that duty very seriously indeed, and I'm confident there is more that can be done and will be done to address public concern.
And you meet your mother of Andrew Harper. She wants to meet you.
Well, my office was in touch with the family last night, and I know the Justice Secretary is in regular touch as well. So we will keep close to the family through this whole process, because we understand how difficult this process has been for them.